And it is great. And yes, I have aligned myself with the camera this week so you can see my beautiful face. And the lady that you're looking at right now, we're on the other camera, is none other than your county commissioner from District 1, Miss Hope Oliver. Hope, thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
And I want you to know, and I haven't said this since you've been up here, we've been up there talking for about 20 minutes. The election night when you were elected, that was in August, right?
That was August.
It was August.
Yes.
And I told her when she first sat in that very seat, I said, you can do this. And I don't know if she believed it or not, but she did. And election night, you had a smile on your face a mile wide. I don't know if you remember that or not. And I said, Lord, there's hope for the world yet. How are you doing?
Hope. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. And you're right, election night. I was so exhausted.
Oh yeah, it's a trying time.
Yeah, that campaign season
and we had so many close races with other candidates.
We really did, and I was at the polls until like 7:05. I mean, we had people running up 2 minutes to 7.
Sure,
and I'm just staying there so I can just kind of greet them and thank them.
Every vote counts, right?
It really does.
It really nowadays, especially.
Yeah,
right.
So it was a great evening. I thank the Lord for the results, and I'm learning every day, meeting good people, and again, just trying to be the best person, not just commissioner, but the best person I could be for the whole.
I know that was important to you, and it's important to your constituents as well. Now, Hope serves at the pleasure of many of our Laverne residents.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's Lake Forest, basically.
Lake Forest, basically. Mm-hmm. Is that still the largest subdivision in the nation?
That's my understanding.
I've heard that. I
haven't heard anything different.
Yeah, we don't know anything to the contrary on that, but now the United States of America is a big country, but this Lake Forest thing has been something for many years,
It has been.
And you're going to be, I'm going to tell you folks, you're going to be seeing a lot more of this lady as the years go by. And I am glad to tell you that. Her and her husband are just fine people. They are parents of 4 adult children, and they've been going at this thing, what did you say, 33 years?
33 years.
33 years, okay. And you're in good company here. Okay, yeah, you're in good company here, okay? So I'll tell you what, Jackson, if we can, we're going to kick this thing off for right now, okay? And we're going to be with Hope. She's going to be with us for the balance of the hour. We got some good things to talk about. But for right now, yes, my name is Edwin Lee Raymer, and yes, I'm still a private investigator. Welcome aboard.
This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show with your host, Ed Raymer, on your good neighbor station, News Radio, WGNS Murfreesboro.
And that is a little stiff upper lip for you from AC/DC. And yes, I'm Ed Raymer, and this is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. I'm your host. This show is produced at the studios of WGNS AM 1450, 100.5, 101.9 FM, right here in the heart of the great volunteer state, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Now, you can reach us tonight. You can reach me and Hope with your questions, comments, ideas, complaints at 615. Hopefully you don't have any of those. 615-893-1450. That's 615-893-1450. You can also send us a text at that number. And Jackson, who's on the board doing a good job as always, will be glad to read it over the air for those of you who do not wish to be heard live here on the radio, and we understand that. Now, you can also listen to us via the internet at WGNSradio.com, and we're on YouTube Live. Now, Jackson, tell folks how to get to that again. I say just go to YouTube. And
yeah, if you go to YouTube and you just look up News Radio WGNS on the search bar, our channel should be the first result. And if you click on the channel, you'll see us live right now, and you just click on that, and you'll be privy to the live stream.
Right. And we put last week after I got home, you'd loaded the show up, I guess, or maybe it was loaded up automatically. I don't know. However you guys do that. And I just typed in the Edwin Lee Raymer Show and popped right up. I mean, an amazing time in which we live. Now, listen, you can also download the WGNS app and take WGNS with you wherever you go and listen whenever you wish. And check out Miss Angela Bingham, who's on here at 6 p.m. every Sunday, doing a great job as always. She's just a fine lady and doing a great job with simplicity. And, I'm really partial to her. I just love her to death. We've got a lot of other good programs, too. Of course, we're mainly sports here at the station. But tonight, I'm sure politics will rear its ugly head as we talk with one of your county commissioners. And again, Miss Hope, thank you. Hope Oliver from District 1 down in Laverne, thank you for being here once again.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to do it. Let me ask you something. You said out there, we were talking a while ago, you're glad you ran.
I am.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What have you learned so far? And I know it's been a short time, and I'm glad me and you crossed paths because, I wanted to have you on, but I didn't want to have you on immediately after you were in because, I know how it gets. You got to get your feet wet, but then sometimes you get thrown into the deep end of the pool too, and I'm sure maybe you had a taste of that already. Mm-hmm. What have you learned so far?
What I have learned mostly is that the view is different from this side. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to be home or be in your community and think, well, they should do this or they should do that, and then you get on this side, it's kind of like you realize all of those different things that impact the decisions that need to be made, so it's interesting. Everyone asks me, how's it going? And I just always say, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot. I'm asking great questions that assist me in learning. I ask questions that assist constituents to know what's going on as well.
Sure.
And I encourage constituents to come to the meetings. They're all online as well. View them
I have been to very, very, I can count on one hand the county commission meetings I've been to since I've lived here. Mm-hmm. And that's not good. Now, we don't want a bunch of people showing up protesting either. Every time you go, you protest, you're there for the wrong reason, But it's sometimes a very thankless job.
Yes, and citizens just need to be aware of decisions that are being made that impact their day-to-day lives.
Sure.
You get a lot of constituents, and I found this out on the campaign trail. They just want to vote on the presidential year.
Right. Right.
Well, politics is local.
That's exactly right.
And
I found that out.
The decisions that are made in your day-to-day about your day-to-day lives are made by your local and state officials.
Right.
And so you really need to be privy to, first of all, who you're electing, research them, things of that nature.
Right.
And then be in the room when those decisions are being made and discussions are being had so that as a citizen, as a constituent, you can voice your concern.
Well, and here's the thing, too, to see, for example, you if you bring up an idea, mm-hmm. Well, my commissioner brought it up, it got voted down, but she voted it up and she voted for it. Mm-hmm. At least know that. To know, hey, I can't blame old Hope, but
that's right, because there's 21 of us up there.
There's 21 of you. You're not going to be deadlocked. Mm-hmm. So it's, and more than likely, most of the decisions, I think by now, most of them are made before you ever take a vote. You pretty well know how the flavor's going.
Probably most, because you have the various committee meetings, and we get the information where we can be aware of the things that are coming before us so that we can make those educated decisions when it comes time to vote. So, yes, sir.
And what you say you're glad you did this. And I don't mean to put you on the spot. I don't mean that. Can you determine yet whether you're going to run again?
I plan to run again.
You plan to run again?
I do.
Okay.
I envisioned 2 terms, and along the way being able to mentor or groom someone else to come along.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
And that's not a bad idea either.
Oh,
have,
definitely. We have to get our young people involved in the process.
That's true. And, that's something that I was never wrapped up in when I was a younger person, but, we should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And because it is very important that younger people know, nobody cares and it's all crooked and all that. I will assure you, to my knowledge, there's not much crookedness goes on in local politics, and county politics is local. Now, I'm sure there's a shenanigan here or there, but, okay. For right now, we're going to go to our first break if we can. Hope Oliver's with us. She's going to be with us for the balance of the hour, and then we're going to go to our first break. I want you to call Celia Snodgrass if you can. She's with Benchmark Realty, and she's been selling homes over the past 15 years. Now, currently, one of her investors is now selling some of these properties to qualified first-time buyers with low down payments and reasonable seller financing. If you're wanting to buy a home, find out more and call Celia at 615-948-6367. That's 615-948-6367. Celia Snodgrass with Benchmark Realty. We'll be back with you right after this. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219, or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all.
Calling all Democrats, on Saturday, March 18th, Rutherford County Democrats will be hosting our Forward Together convention at Patterson Park Community Center. All Democrats are encouraged to attend and help elect our county's new leadership team. Attending convention is the best way to get involved in Democratic efforts to organize, grow, and win. The convention doors open at 9 a.m. and starts at 10. Remember to bring a photo ID and visit rcdp.org for more information.
Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Are you tired of wasting money on rent and ready to be a homeowner? Celia Snodgrass can help you do just that. She's a licensed real estate agent at Benchmark Realty who's been helping Rutherford County families find their dream homes for the past 15 years. She's also enabled many individual real estate investors to achieve financial success in Tennessee's booming real estate market. Currently, one of those investors is now selling some of those properties to qualified first-time homeowners with low down payments and reasonable seller financing. So if you're wanting to buy a home, find out more by calling Celia at 615-948-6367.
Saturday, March the 18th, come and be part of an exciting and meaningful event. The Democrats in your community are holding the Forward Together Reorganization Convention at Patterson Park Community Center. Doors open at 9 with refreshments, and convention begins at 10 and ends at noon. Are you a future leader? Do you want to be involved in your local Democratic Party? Then join us for the elections of our new Democratic leadership team. All Democrats are welcome. Don't forget to bring your photo ID and visit rcdp.org for details. See you there.
And we are back with Miss Hope Oliver, who's been good enough to come up and be with us on a Sunday night. And again, thank you for doing this. We were just talking during the break, of so much that's going on that you deal with. And I keep bringing this fella up over and over again. You mentioned this earlier as we were talking out front. You're going to be dealing with the budget.
Mm-hmm. We're coming into budget season.
We are. Have you already had a taste of that, or do you know yet?
I'm learning. And I've had some meetings with our finance persons to try to get myself up to speed.
Right.
Because there are going to be some hard decisions that are going to have to be made.
Yes. And, I go to my good friend, Ronnie Martin, and he was on Murfreesboro City Council. Now, this was just the city of Murfreesboro. And I say just the city of Murfreesboro. The city of Murfreesboro is a pretty big entity in itself anymore. But you're on the county. Mm-hmm. This is a whole different ball of wax you're dealing with. And Ronnie is a banker. Ronnie dealt with facts and figures every day. It's what he did for a living. But he said he got into the budget process, and it was one of the most eye-opening things he'd ever been involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Your feelings,
that is true.
Your feelings, your comments.
That is true, because when I saw the numbers, I was just like, wow.
Never seen that in your checking account, have you?
Well, it's not even about the balance; it's about the deficits, Right. So, it's going to be interesting to learn and see how we're going to work this out.
And to find, there's been many, and to relate it on these terms, many a person. I was going to say president, but forget all that. Many a person's campaigning, I promise you this, and I promise you that. You better be careful what you promise.
Absolutely.
Because I've heard many people, we all follow presidential politics at some point, and they say it's astonishing when you walk into the Oval Office for the first time and you find out some of the things you've been campaigning on, or maybe all of them, are not going to be possible. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you better be careful what you put out there. Well, whatever happened to that program you had, you're going to take care of all the after-school kids. Well, it's a problem called money, or lack of it. So, and many a president has said
even if
that.
It's not lack of money, it's just how money is allocated.
Sure. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who's got a brother-in-law in that business? Well, I'm telling you the truth, because, it's a fact. It happens. But what are you looking at? The top? Can you give us the top two or three that you, or how you've dealt here in the last few months? You've been in there since August, September.
Yeah, since August. Well, I sit on the Public Safety Committee, and I sit on Health and Education Committees, and those are some biggies, when it comes to different things going on here in the county. Of course, education is a big part of the budget. We are continuously having more students, entering our school systems, and so the challenge.
Isn't education the biggest part of the budget?
It is.
Okay.
So the challenge is, seats. The challenge is, expansion versus building schools,
Sure.
Looking at those type things. But, and then, trying to be objective and take the politics out of it, and, really look at what's needed, what school versus what school, things of that nature. And some of our schools are very, very much poor repair. And they need some assistance.
Here's the thing, too, right? The first rule of business, and I applaud Claire Maxwell for doing this, the first rule of business is learn to use effectively the resources you already have. And she did that, in effect, by expanding some of the schools we already have. And if I'm correct, I believe Laverne made that list after they went back to her and said, will you take a look at least 3 or 4 schools? And they come back and said, what can we do 5? This is probably before you ever got there.
And there are 5 schools on the list, and
there are 5. Okay,
mm-hmm,
all
and
right.
they're starting with 3, and again, where's the money? Where this is going to be a matter of where you're going to be able to get the money from to do what's being asked, and whether it's more feasible to just build a whole new school versus doing expansions, those type of things, because you're looking at seats. How many seats is this if this is you're gonna do these millions of dollars to only have maybe a couple hundred seats? Would it be more feasible to just build a whole new school? But then that takes time as well.
Sure.
And these are discussions that they've been having for years.
Right.
And so it is time to kind of get moving on some of these things, because the kids are still coming.
They're still coming.
Because Rutherford County schools are just phenomenal, and a lot of people come here because of the great school system that we have. You
and I were talking about this a while ago. It's the reason they came here.
Mm-hmm.
So many of them. The school system ranks in that top 2 or 3. What brought you to Rutherford County? Now, let's just say, and I don't mean to badmouth that. I've lived in Davidson County, and nice counties, big city, metro. I understand. But they don't have the school system that we have here. Ours is more personal. I believe it's more, if I could, for the lack of being corny, homey. I find some of that.
Maybe. But I have to, tell you there, Ed, I taught in metro schools for like 8 years.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wouldn't drag metro schools.
Right.
Yeah. They have a lot of great programs.
Sure.
A lot of great students, great faculty and staff,
Right. Okay.
The challenge when you look at metro versus Rutherford County, sometimes people talk about the behavioral issues,
Understood.
And there are behavioral issues everywhere. And a lot of that has to do with who's in the classroom.
Sure.
Are you the adult in the classroom? Are you standing up and setting the standards and, holding students accountable?
Right. Yeah.
And so a lot of that can be a challenge, especially when you have those cultural differences. And if you, as an educator, don't take the time to relationship build, then you're going to have those issues. I taught every student from a valedictorian to a gangbanger. You know what I mean? And they were successful in my classes. So it's just a matter of tapping in to your students, building relationships that can alleviate those behavioral issues so that the education can take place.
Okay. Kurt Wade sends his regards.
Hello, Mr. Councilman.
Okay. And he's got a question. We don't want to talk about that, Kurt. He wants to know, seriously, what are you going to do about trash?
And that is one of the issues. Our mayor is looking at possibly doing a transfer station, which is like a holding station until the trash can be transported out of the county. There's possibilities of, my understanding, that the landfill, the dates as far as when it's going to close, there's some questions about that.
It always has been. Right.
Always has been. Leakage and things of that nature. So there's a lot of questions around that. There's questions about, should we do a whole nother landfill? So it remains to be seen, but it's something that, again, that's another one of those issues that has been talked about for a while, and it's time that some hard decisions are made.
Because back, I believe it was before the election last year, the new mayor, and he was on Bill Wilson's show, and he had asked that could the current contract with BFI, or whoever that company, I guess it's BFI. Republic, I'm sorry. Said, can we just, how about if we renegotiate it? Because it had been a mistake to do in the first place. Now, this is way before me and you ever got here, and I don't mean to just push that off. Well, that happened before we were walking into town. Well, but nonetheless, I'm talking to a lady now that you're going to have to
learn about it.
Yeah, you got to learn about it.
Absolutely.
And it was left as an open-ended contract. Well, we had no idea where we were headed as a county at that time. The growth, the expansion, the building, the schools, the people that would be here, going from 300,000 to more than 600,000 people by 2035. We didn't know that. Has that contract, to your knowledge, has it been renegotiated? Or is it in the process of that
To
happening?
my knowledge, nope, I can't even answer that. I'm
Okay.
not sure about that.
I didn't know if they'd taken the time to do that, or if Republic would even consider renegotiating it or whatever.
I can't even answer that intelligently. That would be on the Public Works Committee. I've watched those meetings, and I don't recall, so I can't even answer that question.
Okay, all right. But we are going to do something about it.
Our mayor is going to do something about it, absolutely. Yeah. So he's has some ideas and ways to help, deal with that solid waste.
The idea of the incinerators being put into play. Do you know anything about that?
I don't.
And I'm not saying that's being done. Okay, I'm not. But it sure looks like. But it's so cost prohibitive in the beginning to get set up in it. It's just, but it can be done. But at what cost?
That's the key.
And you've got so many.
Everybody wants money, but nobody wants to.
Because if you guys have to go in there and say, okay, that's it, bam, we're going to build a new school. It's more than $100 million.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. So I don't know about you, but the money tree at our house, the leaves blew off a long time ago. And I have a feeling at Miss Hope's house, the leaves are pretty. We are still in the middle of winter. So.
Yeah. And no one wants to talk about the nasty T word, taxes.
Taxes, sure.
But somebody's got to pay for some, all of this that's going on, infrastructure.
Yes, right.
I mean, buildings, schools, all of that.
I have learned so much on this show, on this broadcast since I started doing it. Rob Mitchell, who's our county property assessor, told us once, and I'll stand corrected, Rob, if you're listening, because he listens quite a bit. I hope he's listening tonight.
That's my cousin.
Rob Mitchell? Okay. He said that a new, for example, subdivision, 100 homes, 150 homes, it will take about 30 years before that money starts to really be an active part of a community. By the time those funds pay for the infrastructure, pay for the water, pay for the sewer, pay for everything that goes into that development. So it doesn't, these people, they built 200 houses in there. What about that tax money?
It takes time.
As you're finding out, as you found out already, I mean, you may have already known because you've been into this for a while, government doesn't really work that way. And yes, unfortunately, government does move slow,
Absolutely.
Okay, now let me ask you, I'll tell you what let's do. Jax, let's take let's take a break here for just a couple minutes if we could. And we're with Hope Oliver. She's going to be with us for the balance of the hour. She's your county commissioner for District 1 out in Laverne. And she's going to be with us for the balance of the hour. And stay with us. I'm Ed Raymer, the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. We'll be back with you. We'll take your questions, comments, or ideas at 615-893-1450. Talk to you after a while. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all.
Calling all Democrats, on Saturday, March 18th, Rutherford County Democrats will be hosting our Forward Together convention at Patterson Park Community Center. All Democrats are encouraged to attend and help elect our county's new leadership team. Attending convention is the best way to get involved in Democratic efforts to organize, grow, and win. The convention doors open at 9 a.m. and starts at 10. Remember to bring a photo ID and visit rcdp.org for more information.
Are you tired of wasting money on rent and ready to be a homeowner? Celia Snodgrass can help you do just that. She's a licensed real estate agent at Benchmark Realty who's been helping Rutherford County families find their dream homes for the past 15 years. She's also enabled many individual real estate investors to achieve financial success in Tennessee's booming real estate market. Currently, one of those investors is now selling some of those properties to qualified first-time homeowners with low down payments and reasonable seller financing. So if you're wanting to buy a home, find out more by calling Celia at 615-948-6367. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Saturday, March the 18th, come and be part of an exciting and meaningful event. The Democrats in your community are holding the Forward Together Reorganization Convention at Patterson Park Community Center. Doors open at 9 with refreshments, and convention begins at 10 and ends at noon. Are you a future leader? Do you want to be involved in your local Democratic Party? Then join us for the elections of our new Democratic leadership team. All Democrats are welcome. Don't forget to bring your photo ID and visit rcdp.org for details. See you there.
And we are back. Thank you, Jackson. Appreciate it. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Appreciate you so much. We are on YouTube Live, by the way. And if you go to YouTube Live, tell me again, Jackson, WGNS Radio, Talk Radio.
News Radio WGNS on YouTube.
News Radio WGNS on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And you can probably find us. It was the easiest thing I ever did last Sunday night. I went home.
I'm pretty sure this broadcast is the first result if you look it up on YouTube. So.
Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate it. It should be the first result. Should be the first everyone's going to in the entire country. Hope I got to get on you a little bit. She did. She had the guts to send to me. She really did. This lady, she's all right. Said, I just woke up when she was on her way. He sent me a text. I said, did you get my emoji of the look at the Labrador? It's a Labrador Retriever waking up under a blanket, and it reminds me of ours that we used to have. Our daughter's Bentley. He was a Okay. And what do you want to do? What do you want to do? You get in, everybody gets into this. You got, and I'm not saying it's a hidden agenda. I don't mean that, but you got something. I want to give back. I want to do all that. We hear that. Mm-hmm. Fresh faces to me are always welcome. Mm-hmm. And we mentioned this with our county reorganization of the Democrat Party, which is the 20th?
The 18th.
18th. I'm sorry, the 18th. That Saturday we're at Patterson Park. Mm-hmm. You plan to be there. And what do we need out there? We've talked a little about it here. Well, we've talked a lot about it. And Kathy's going to be back with us next week, by the way.
Well, we just need some, like you said, fresh faces, fresh voices. We need to get people energized and mobilized in the county. I think the assumption is, because it's supermajority Republican, that there's no place.
Yeah, we run
for
into that all
Democrat,
the time.
But there really is, and we really need to get people involved, especially the young people,
right?
That kind of feel a little hopeless sometimes.
Yeah,
and I think Morgan Woodbury has done a great job mobilizing young people.
She was here a few weeks ago,
getting
with
young
Kathy.
people
She's going to be
involved.
back with us, I think, next week as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, fine young woman. I think we're going to be
Absolutely.
seeing a lot of
Bright
her.
future.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're going to be seeing a lot of her as the years go by.
I think
hope.
so.
I really do. And just when you campaign, did you campaign as a Democrat?
I did campaign as a Democrat.
How did people receive it? Because
Well,
a lot
here's
of my
the
knowledge,
thing.
but I was glad to see that,
Well, here's the thing. Initially, I was encouraged. Well, I don't even think I was encouraged to run as an independent.
No.
Initially, when I decided to go to the election commission and kind of throw my hat in the ring for something, didn't know
Right.
exactly what it was, just was kind of pissed off that there weren't anybody that looked like me that maybe addressed things that concerned me. And so I was sitting at my office and I told my staff, hey, I'm going down to the election commission. I just felt led to see how can I get involved more than just voter education, voter
Right.
registration, and had a time, reviewing, looking at everything from school board to, commission, road board, whatever, just trying to see how I could get involved.
Right.
And turns out it was the year for commission.
Right.
And so
And all 21 seats were up.
all 21 seats were available. And I sat there at the table and I prayed, and Lord said, move
Hey,
forward. And that's what I
Go
did.
for it. Yeah.
So, I really didn't have a hidden agenda. It was just basically just to be a different voice in the room,
Sure.
bring a
Sure.
different
Yeah.
perspective, to the table. And I would say since being in office, one way that I have done that myself as well as Commissioner Romel McMurray is we had a for Black History Month, we had resolutions for
Right.
2 African American citizens here in Rutherford County. Not much news about it, but hey, that's okay. But we moved.
All you have to do is let me know.
We moved forward, and we recognized Mr. Ricky Field and Miss Florence Smith for their service to the county in
Right.
education and civil rights and things of that nature. And it was really a great thing. And I'm really proud that we moved forward with that. And that's something that, I would hope that we would continue the trend to just bring something different to the chamber that,
Right.
people hadn't thought about before.
Right.
No fault on them. They just hadn't thought about it, I guess,
Right.
maybe.
Yeah.
But just to bring a different voice into the room to, make you think about, okay, we're here to represent all citizens, not just Republicans, not
Right.
just white, just all citizens, So
I was sitting in a
pretty cool.
meeting some months ago, and a fellow brought this up. He said, he's Democrat, and said, I see so many people turning your nose up when people come in here. Maybe, if they're Asian American or if they're black or if they're Hispanic, whatever. So maybe it might do good to have some little disparity in here. How about that? Let's change this thing around a little bit. Might be good for all of us. And I said, you know what? It'd sure be good for me. I mean, it would. Not that I've ever had any problem with it anyway, but it would be kind of good because I never knew. And a good friend of mine, well, you know her, and she ran for city council. Out of the top 3 spots she finished for, Carolyn Cox. Carolyn's listening tonight, I hope. And
You're going to see her again.
Yeah, I know. We're going to
don't
see her
count her
again. I know that. And spoiling that grandbaby, something fierce. And
I know how that is. I got one I spoiled.
you got one you spoiled too. Okay. But here is a lady, she's paid her dues. She's a lady of quality. She's a lady of stature. She's a worker. I mean, no one works harder than Carolyn. And she finished 4th out of the top 3. That's not bad for your first time out. Now, your case was a little different because Laverne has been primarily a Democrat. You sit on that Davidson County line, and I'm not giving you an excuse. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you worked hard. You worked very hard.
Yeah.
And if you had to all do over again, you'll have to do the same thing again.
Absolutely.
But this can be done, and with just perseverance. And yes, we're going to take some knocks and some hits along the way. That's fine. But folks, Democrat Party is here to stay, I'm proud to say. And I'm part of it. And yes, I am a proud Democrat, have been all my life. And glad to be, and I'll not apologize for it.
And I had someone ask me that. They were like, why did you run as a Democrat? Well, first, because I'm a Democrat.
Right.
But initially, my petition had independent on it because, as I told you, I was looking at school board. I was looking at different things. And so the initial one that was given to me was for school board, which was independent.
Right.
Well, then when they looked back at it, they were like, well, no, school board is not up this year, So then that's how I ended up with commission. Well, the paperwork they still gave me said independent, and I didn't realize that till I pretty much had my petition complete.
Right.
And then I was like, oh my God, am I gonna have to go get these signatures all over again? What should I do? Da da da.
Right.
And then I had persons kind of contact me. He was like, hey, we heard you were doing independent. We know you're a Democrat. And I'm like, yeah. I said, but
that changes it a little bit, doesn't it?
I was just like, gosh, I've already got all these, signatures. Da 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 da. Mariah Phillips contacted me.
Another
she
name
said,
you'll be seeing again.
Absolutely.
I hope.
Phenomenal woman.
Right.
She contacted me and said, hey, I will work with you. We will get these signatures again. So I went down to the election commission again, got another petition.
And she's campaigning also, mind you, in her own campaign.
She was, exactly.
Yes.
But
she's
and it was snowing.
To help you. That's right.
And she came to Laverne and helped me. It was snowing, and helped me go door to door and get the signatures that I needed inside of 2 days because it was time to turn it back in.
Right. Yeah.
And so,
you have a time limit there.
Yeah. And so Mariah helped me get that done, and I appreciate all the citizens that signed the petition and all those that voted for me because it was a very close race. I won by like 28 votes.
And Mariah lost her contest by like 30.
It was close.
It was very close.
Very close. Very
and
close.
I felt very elated for you. Of course, I felt bad for her.
Right.
But I got news for you. That lady's going to be back. Now, you talk about another worker.
Oh, yeah.
This lady's a worker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what I'm finding is a lot of you gals that you've had 3 or 4 kids, you know what hard work's all about.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I mean, being a mom is hard work,
Yeah, it is.
It's a tough game.
Even if you have one, it's hard work.
Yeah, even if you have one, but I mean, being a parent is not easy, and being a mom is, and especially if you're working a second job,
right,
And I always said this at the grocery store, if I need to get checked out quick, if I'm there, say on the afternoon, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I got to get checked out, I got to get gone. You get behind a working mom, you get checked out quick because she's got to run home. She's got probably the kids going, there's either cheerleading practice, ball practice, dance practice, recital, whatever. And plus, Dad's hungry. He wants some supper. And I never see a working mom she's picking them up and putting them down.
I'm telling you now, you need more of them in office.
I know. Yeah.
You absolutely do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have near as much talk about abortion and things and drag queens as we do.
As if a drag queen.
Well, we all know what the problem is there.
I'm just like, drag queens haven't killed our children. They haven't stormed our schools and killed anybody. I mean, seriously, we have more issues to deal with than how someone dresses.
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous. We got children that need to be fed. They need health care. They need housing.
That's right.
And you want to worry about seriously? You want to worry about a drag queen?
Right. I know.
I
agree. I'm with you.
Like Allen Iverson said, practice? You want to talk about practice? You want to talk about a drag queen? For real? Education issues.
Yeah.
We're talking about funding for education. We're sitting here talking about expansion that needs to be done. You got legislators that are saying we want to refuse federal funding.
Right.
Well, how you gonna do that if you're talking about the funding that we need for schools, which a lot of that is federal?
And we have talked about that on this broadcast, and people that listen regularly know Bill Lee has turned down more federal funding, which is money that is already there, that you listeners, all of us, me, Hope, our spouses, our families, we have already paid into the till. And he's up there, no, we don't need it.
Exactly.
Education, don't need it. Medicare expansion? Oh, we really don't need that. I mean,
legislators
and
that, mind
closing
you,
up all around us.
Mind you, legislators that have lifetime of health care, paid for by us,
but we
can't have any.
Right. Well, that's what always has got me,
But you're pro-life.
Can you? Yeah, but can we have your health care? Well, no, we've got a special. But here's what we've got for you. We think this will do better. Why?
Right.
You know what Dad told me once? One of the best questions to ask somebody, anybody,
It's why.
is why.
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Absolutely. And
I don't know.
9.5 times out of 10, they can't answer the question.
They can't answer you. They get that we call. It was that Ralph Cramden thing. Some of your parents may remember that. When Alice would get him in a corner and he didn't know what to say. And I think all of us as husbands have been there before. But no, I wasn't looking at that girl, honey. And but it is. And we sit here and we laugh and chuckle about it, but it's not funny. And you talk about schools. We've got schools. Not only do we need to expand, you got schools that require massive maintenance. I see those Rutherford County school trucks running around, and they're not letting any grass grow under their feet either. Now, you want a busy job, you want to to apply yourself, go to work for Rutherford County Schools in the maintenance department.
I know.
There's plenty to do tomorrow morning, starting about 7 a.m.
They work hard.
They do.
They
right.
do.
So there's lots to do. We've got roughly 14 minutes left. I tell you what, Jackson, if we could, let's go to our last series of breaks, and then we'll be back with Hope right after this. This is Edwin Lee Raymer Show. I'm Ed Raymer. Hope Oliver's with us from down in Laverne. She's your county commissioner down there in District 1. We're going to be back with you right after this. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, "We do it all." Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all.
Calling all Democrats, on Saturday, March 18th, Rutherford County Democrats will be hosting our Forward Together convention at Patterson Park Community Center. All Democrats are encouraged to attend and help elect our county's new leadership team. Attending convention is the best way to get involved in Democratic efforts to organize, grow, and win. The convention doors open at 9 a.m. and starts at 10. Remember to bring a photo ID and visit rcdp.org for more information.
Are you tired of wasting money on rent and ready to be a homeowner? Celia Snodgrass can help you do just that. She's a licensed real estate agent at Benchmark Realty who's been helping Rutherford County families find their dream homes for the past 15 years. She's also enabled many individual real estate investors to achieve financial success in Tennessee's booming real estate market. Currently, one of those investors is now selling some of those properties to qualified first-time homeowners with low down payments and reasonable seller financing. So if you're wanting to buy a home, find out more by calling Celia at 615-948-6367. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Saturday, March the 18th, come and be part of an exciting and meaningful event. The Democrats in your community are holding the Forward Together Reorganization Convention at Patterson Park Community Center. Doors open at 9 with refreshments, and convention begins at 10 and ends at noon. Are you a future leader? Do you want to be involved in your local Democratic Party? Then join us for the elections of our new Democratic leadership team. All Democrats are welcome. Don't forget to bring your photo ID and visit rcdp.org for details. See you there.
All right, we are back, and I found out some interesting information on Miss Hope Oliver. You are a Celtics fan.
Absolutely.
Wow, yeah.
And we're losing to the Knicks right now.
Are you losing to the Knicks?
Yeah, we are.
Well, that battle's been going on for decades, centuries.
I know. We'll pull it out.
Hey, that's all right. We've got plenty of time on that. We're about to move into March Madness.
Oh, my God. This is my favorite time of the year.
You know, our boys at Tennessee got beat yesterday. I don't know how.
Our
Did
girls
the
lost.
MTSU men, did they
Our girls
win?
lost in the championship today. The SEC championship.
They
Tennessee.
did. Tennessee lost in the SEC championship.
To South Carolina. Mm-hmm.
Will they make the tournament?
I think they will.
Think so?
I think they will.
Okay.
You know.
Now, the MTSU girls, we've had Coach Ensel up here before. We try not to bother these guys during the season because it's so busy for them. I hope to have Coach Stockstill, football coach, up here as he's in the off season. And, of course, those guys work. It's a pressure job.
It is.
And but we try and catch them when they're not in the middle of their regular season. I hope to have Coach, if you're listening, I will be making a call to you. But between the men and the women, I mean, they're hitting some bigger licks. They're finding out what it's like to ride around the country with a target on your back.
Absolutely.
And it's not easy. I mean, because if you break the top 25, as both teams, the ladies and gentlemen both have done at one time or another, you know, if you go into those small schools, and, hey, they're coming here from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. This is a top 25 team. If we can win, this will put a notch. Let's put a notch in.
Sure.
It's a big deal.
It is.
And the whole school will turn out just to see if we're going to beat these guys. You know, everybody gears up for you. And of course, you know, you being a Celtic fan.
Yeah, I am.
And I've always wondered something: is it Celtic or Celtic?
Well, I've always known it to be Celtic.
That's what I've always known. But now Rod Stewart,
you know,
who owns a football. They call it football. It's soccer. We call it soccer. But it's called Celtic, I believe.
Well, there is a pronunciation for Celtic.
Celtic.
But in Boston, they call themselves Celtic. So I'm going to roll with them. So.
You know, I wish we could have gone to see a game in the old arena. They said the cigarette smoke would get thick in there.
Oh, wow.
You know, and we all remember the famous, and I forget their announcer. I forget his name. Havlicek stole the ball. Havlicek stole the ball. All right, we've got just a couple of minutes. Hope's been so good to come down and spend it with us. Before we get out of here, what are y'all working on right now? If you can tell us. I mean, I know there's many commitments that the county has that must be you're obligated to these people. You have to carry through with it. What's going on? Tell us something we don't know.
Well, you know, some things coming down the pike, of course, includes the fact that we're going into budget season and we're looking at education and, you know, possible new schools. We also have the possibility of a forensic center.
Right.
Which,
I've seen that. Yeah.
Mayor Carr is, you know,
Okay.
promoting, which I am totally excited about that, you know.
Right.
I'm never.
Because we're big enough, we could probably.
Oh gosh, yeah. But you know, just the scientist in me. You know, I'm a
Right.
dental hygienist by trade, and just a scientist by, you know, in me, I'm just so excited when I heard the presentation from Ms. Martin. I was like, oh wow. But no, I think it would be a wonderful thing for the county. I really think so.
Well, this sounds so morbid, but the body has to be moved to Nashville for the coroner down there. Is that
Right,
correct?
for autopsy. Yeah,
not
for
all
autopsies.
of them, not all, but for crimes, criminal situations.
And
that could be
Nashville
expedited,
services,
right?
you know,
And that-
52 other
right.
counties, and so
And that could be expedited so much more quickly
If we had our own forensic center, absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I think that's probably going to come to fruition.
I hope so. I think it would be great for the county. I really think so. And then there are some other opportunities there for education, with MTSU and Meharry and things of that nature. So, yeah, it would be a great opportunity, I think, for the county.
Yeah. Many joint things going to be coming together that, can you tell me something I don't know? Can you talk out of school?
I don't know.
Mayor wouldn't get mad at you.
I can't tell you something I don't know. And some things I do know I can't tell you. So.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. But you don't have to worry. If you tell me right here, it'll never go any further than me. I'll tell you what. You can ask some people who've been on the show, and they will vouch for me. I can keep my mouth shut. So I have to keep my mouth shut every once in a while, too.
Yeah.
But, now is Laverne up for the what Claire had put forth, the expansion down there? Was the high school up for
Laverne
expansion?
High School is on the list.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The high school is on the list. So
do we have a list of when this might possibly start, or is that just too soon?
Not really, because the ones that they're talking about now, here it is a year or so later, and nothing's really working with that. They're looking at bids and things of that nature. So time,
the wheels
costs
spin
money.
so slowly.
So
right.
Yeah, it just depends.
And the children are still coming.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But prayerfully we can work some things out and open up some seats for these babies that are coming.
Well, and like I've said so many times, and I know everyone doesn't share this position, but, and we're all having to step up to the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Those of us, and this includes you and your husband, all of our children are grown, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people actually say to me, I shouldn't have to pay property tax. My kids are grown. Come on, man. And I've told Rob, and Rob, if you're listening, I stand beside this. If we have to pay an extra $150, $200 a year for our kids not to be raised ignorant, and as far as charter schools go, I wish the governor would just, not the mayor, the governor, Bill Lee, I wish he'd just get out of the school business, because there's no way that should be even talked about, because as we said, so many people came here because of our school system.
Yeah, and when it comes to the schools, and then when it comes to charter, you just got to follow the money. That's all it is money.
Right.
That's what it boils down to.
It boils down to the dollar.
Because especially when you look at the fact that they're talking about taking kids out of the county. Well, if you're gonna accept kids from out of the county, then how is that alleviating our overcrowding problem? If you're coming in as a charter school and so you're going to bring kids from out of the county.
Yeah,
but that's what the legislators are looking at, and so that's a challenge. That means your impetus is not what you said it was. It's to, open
and
up
more as
more seats.
they're looking and not doing, which they're all pretty good at looking. So Hope Oliver's been my guest tonight, and I'm so glad you did this. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much to bring us up to speed on what is going on and what's not going on. And I'll tell you what, till next week, I'm Edwin Lee Raymer. I'm Ed Raymer of the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. And I'll tell you what, till next Sunday at 8 o'clock, I'll catch you down the road. Good night, everybody.